discuss that how can an ELT teacher seek help from in-depth IELTS insights. Today we will discuss the fundamentals and significance of IELTS, and to discuss all these things we are very honored that we have Ms. Irum Shahzadi with us, who is a certified ESL and IELTS trainer from the Teaching Training College in United Kingdom. Currently she is teaching as an IELTS instructor at an esteemed International Institute in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. This is all from my side. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Before we dive in, I'd like to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation to the dedicated team, and especially you, Ma'am Kanwal, that who has worked tirelessly to make this webinar possible. And I'd like to extend my special thanks to Sir Rustam to join us, Sir Saeed Qureshi, Ma'am Shagufta, if she's here with us. Your presence and support mean a lot, and I deeply appreciate the guidance and knowledge you have imparted me. So I believe that I'm here because of you people, you, especially you three, Sir Rustam, Sir Saeed Qureshi, and also Ma'am Shagufta. I'm not sure if she's here with us. So just like as my introduction has already been done, so I want to know you people who are with me today. So I want you to introduce yourself, write your name in the chat box. You know, it's always good to have an interactive session. So I want you to write your name and use an emoji or a combination of emojis that represent your feelings and expectations for the webinar today. What's your expectation? Just in the chat box, you can use chat box. You okay, ma'am? Kamal, thank you. Aizamir, thank you. Please write your names along with that emoji. How do you feel? What's your expectation for the webinar today? Manahil, Sarustem student. Okay. Finger crossed. Okay. Ariba Nawaz, thank you. It's fine, sir. Sarustam, it's fine. Okay. Shy stop, tap. Okay. So seems like you people are taking time to search that emoji, if I'm not mistaken. Gufran. Okay, Sarastan student. Welcome. Yes, Miss Kamal, that's what I hope so. I hope so. I also wish that the session should be interactive. So could I proceed now, Miss Kamal? Those who are still searching those emojis could write their names, please.
Yes, ma'am, you should proceed.
Yeah, okay. So some people are still joining, Miss. Okay, so I'm just starting now. I'll proceed to my objectives, but before that, a quick question. What do you think about when you hear the word IELTS? You can unmute your mics. You can tell me. Okay, or you can type in the chat box if you're not comfortable while talking. Welcome, Hamidullah sir. My question to you is, what do you think about when you hear the word IELTS?
Okay, let me tell you what my perception is about this course.
Yeah.
Usually, we Pakistanis believe
Mm.
that whoever wants to go abroad, he has to have this
Yeah.
test first.
Okay. Anybody else, please? What's your impression when I say IELTS? What's your impression? What do you think about it? Do you think it's only a requirement to go abroad? I'm expecting some answers. Shaista Aftab, you said that it's all about basic skills of language, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, good, great. Hamidullah sir, you said that it's testing English proficiency in a standard way. Okay, to know what the English language, Manahil. Okay, great. I want you people to participate, please. Okay, let me ask a different question. So now I'll say a module of IELTS. You will tell me what is the first word that comes in your mind. For example, if I say writing, as you know that in IELTS we have listening, reading, writing, and speaking, 4 modules. So if I say writing, your response might be with essay or task. So my word is listening. Tell me the first word that comes in your mind. I say listening. You can unmute your mics. You can tell me. You can, okay. No one works on listening. All right. So, no problem. Okay. I say reading. What's your impression? Good, Manahil. Now I say reading. What's your impression? The first stage of learning. To understand the hidden surface of hidden meaning, reading a text for comprehension. Good, Shaista. Okay, now I say speaking. Kamal, reading books. Okay, miss. So now I say speaking. What's the first word that comes in your mind when I say speaking? Cognitive and physical process. Okay, great answer, Sir Rustam. Proficiently pronouncing the words, Manahil. Good. Okay, that's why, sir, typing takes time. That's why I said you are free to unmute your mic and you can participate. You can speak. Okay, you can speak. I need your 100% attention. I need your 100% participation. Okay, so here I'll start my presentation now. As you can see, the title itself is telling you the Demystifying IELTS, a comprehensive exploration. And I'll be explaining, but again, I'm telling you, I'm not the only one will be talking. I want everyone to participate, please. So the overview of this is, I'll go with what is IELTS first. Okay, who need IELTS? Is it really that only the people who are planning to go English country, they only need to take IELTS? Then I'll talk about test types, and then I'll also speak about the scope of IELTS in Pakistan. Then we'll proceed to test format, and then marking criteria and band calculation. We'll proceeding to result, and then the most important thing, or I would say number one important thing for you and for me, is to the last point, that is connecting IELTS to ELT classrooms. So are you ready, guys? Forgive my slangs, okay? Because here we are using the language like this. So my first word is, what my first, starting by the term itself, IELTS stands for. Please answer this question. IELTS stands for?
If I'm not wrong, this is International English Language Testing System.
Yes. Anybody else? IELTS stands for international. Yes.
I think it's International English Language Test Series.
Okay. Miss Ma'am
Miss,
Shagufta. Ma'am, how are you? Manahil, you're right. Okay. Sarastam, you're right. So this is what is IELTS basically? It's an international English language testing system. So if we talk about language characteristics, you will also know, I'm just explaining you the term first. So you will also know, is it really for the people who are planning to go abroad, or you can also study it when you are in Pakistan. So when English is not your first language, okay, what are language characteristics? Whatever is your first language, I mean your native language, that can be Hinko, that can be Pashto, that can be Urdu. How do we acquire our native language? We always start by listening, and then we start speaking. So it's, we are listening and then we are speaking. This is the process. And then reading and writing is maybe later on, but we start by listening and speaking. That is why we call them native English, because this is how they are acquiring the language. And if you will check, their handwriting might be worse, your handwriting might be much better than them. Why? Because they are not learning it, they are acquiring it, and they learn writing later. What happens in terms of English? We learned it, we all have learned it. How? Do you remember the time reading alphabets A B C D? Then you started writing it, then you started listening and speaking to a teacher. So you are known as either ESL, means English is either second language for you. But I don't say that it's a language, second language for you, it's a foreign language for you. When you see people who cannot understand it, or when you think it is required, then only you are speaking English. Like in Dubai, English is the second language. We are speaking not Arabic, but we are speaking English to everyone, whatever nationality it is. But in Pakistan, most people go back to their first language, that is usually Urdu. So when you're planning to go English countries, I'm on the point what is IELTS, as I said. So when you're planning to go English countries and English is not your native language, it's either the second language or foreign language for you, then they want you to pass through this system. What this system will do, this system is testing your international English language skills in 4 characteristics, that is listening, reading, writing, and also speaking. But is that all, that we only need IELTS to go abroad? Or we are using English even in our daily routine, like in classrooms, while teaching or while studying, we are using language. So the main reason, yes, it's true that the main reason to take IELTS is always what? When someone is planning for higher education in English countries or global migration, he may go for IELTS. and they will just check their level of English. So if you're working, if your plan is to work or study abroad, then this test is must. So it's not basically a course. You can say, I have done digital marketing course, I have done computer course, I have done English language course, but IELTS is not a course. It's an exam. So it will only assess your level of English, and the result will tell what is your competency of English, what is your level of English. We all know English. Means whoever joined me today, I'm 100% sure you all people can understand English. You can speak English, you can understand it, you can write it, you can read it. You are actually experts of English. But if I ask you the question that what's your level? Can you rate your English level on the scale of 1 to 9, where 1 stands for non-user and 9 stands for expert user? How do you judge your English? What's your level? Score yourself.
Well,
Score
it's
yourself. Okay, Hifsa, you said you are on 7 to 8. Okay, likewise. If you don't want to share, you can even think your English level. Keep that digit in mind. 6 to 7. Okay, Kinza, you think that it's 7. Hamidullah, you think it's 8. Why nobody is saying that I'm on 9? Shaista, you said 6 to 7. Those who are saying that they are on 6 to 7, maybe they are on 8 to 9. But how do you assess your level? Now, my next question is, whatever digit you kept in your mind, how did you assess your language? How did you assess your language skill? Okay, Kinza, you said we are not confident of ourselves. Okay, so meaning you don't know what is your current level. Same is for everyone. For if you ask any English teacher, or if you are asking any English student, what is your level of English? They will just label it like intermediate or what. But my question is, if you are giving a rate, if you're giving a number, how do you rate yourself from 1 to 9 when you yourself don't know what is your level of English? Then how can you number yourself? Either 6 or 7. There is a proper scale. So meaning, if you want to know, if you want to know your skill, then you need to take IELTS. Okay, not okay. If you don't want to go to the exam center, it's fine, but you can at least try one mock test that is free online. I'll tell you the resources that you can use just to know. If you want to know what is your current level of English, then you will take one IELTS mock test where you will be checking your skills for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Then only you will know what is your level. You will know what is your strength. You will know what is your weakness. Maybe you think that you are good at speaking. Maybe you think that you are good at reading. But what exactly is that number? So how you will lift your number? How you will lift your number? Once you will try the test, you will know your level, and then you can work on that level. That if you are on 6, then you know that how to proceed further. Now in IELTS, there are different categories for the test types. Academic, the word itself is telling you something related to studies. So if someone is planning to go English country for study purpose, he may go for IELTS academic. Also in some countries, it's like an entry test. Universities will not accept the students without their English knowledge. So how do they check their English knowledge? It's not that you go in front of them and you speak and they will say, okay, you're pass. Or they are not giving only the writing test. They want you to take this test, IELTS academic. And if any of you is interested to come up, here in Dubai and want to teach, you want to be a teacher in Dubai, then you need to take IELTS academic, and the band score must be 7 if you are an English teacher, and if you are a maths or other subject teacher, you must need to take IELTS academic 6.5 band score. But general is the general migration purpose, and there is one more we call UKVI, that is for UK visa and immigration. Anyway, test is same whether you go for IELTS academic or you go for IELTS academic UKVI. The only difference is there will be an additional stamp on your certificate that will clearly mention that this test is taken for the purpose of UK visa and immigration, and same for the general. And there is one more life skills where you have only 2 modules, that is listening and speaking. So if spouse is already there, like husband is there and wants the wife to go to the UK, then he or she will go for IELTS life skills. Okay, I'm explaining you all about IELTS first, then I'll come to the point of ELT connection. But once you will know IELTS, then only you can connect it with the ELT. Now, the next question is the difference between academic and general. Okay, I'll go back to my first slide. Do you remember what did we say for IELTS stands for? Could you please repeat? So I know that you are here with me again. IELTS stands for international. Can you please complete my words? International. Yes, Noor, you can go ahead. Noor Al Haram.
Yes,
Yes.
it is International English Language Testing System.
Okay, so it's a language test, right? Now you just remember that it's a language test. Okay, I'll ask you again. So language is listen. Now I'm on the point. What's the difference between academic and general tests? Let's say if there are 5 people who are taking academic test, and there are 5 who are taking general, what will be the difference in test pattern? I'm keeping the requirements on one side, that you need UKVI or you need simple IELTS. My concern is now, what's the difference between test pattern? So as you just said, that it's international English language testing system, so language is same. Do you agree that the way we are listening is exactly same whatever setting it is? For example, if you are attending a classroom, if you are attending a class, you're listening to a teacher, and you're in a supermarket, the whole setting will change to social. So the way you are listening to a teacher, you will listen everyone, even if you are in a supermarket. But if you will go and same is for the speaking, the way you are talking to me right now, even if you are in a supermarket, you will speak the same way. But what about reading and writing? Now you are reading, for example, if we assume that this is a class, now you are reading whatever I'm showing you on the screen. Outside, what do you read? You're reading signboards, billboards, magazines, brochures, pamphlets. Your reading is different. Writing also, in the class, writing is different. You're writing for a different purpose. But when you are outside in a supermarket, maybe you don't carry any notebook and paper with you. Maybe you don't write anything. Okay, maybe you're typing messages, you're sending voice messages, etc. So although in both academic and general we have listening, reading, writing and speaking, but what? Complete my words. But listening test and speaking test is exactly same regardless of academic and general. So there is no difference if there are 10 people sitting in one classroom taking the IELTS test and they are academic or general. It's exactly the same test. What about reading and writing? Do you think will be same? Because reading in academic life is different, in social life is different. Same is for reading in academic life, it's different, in social life is different. So that means these 2 tests will be totally different. 2 tests are same, 2 tests are different. Can you tell me what 2 tests are same? Could you please tell me? 2 tests are same. What are those 2 tests? Okay, listening and speaking and reading and writing are different. Now I'm saying you that I need your 100% attention, because if you will know IELTS, then only you can connect it to ELT classrooms. Okay, so I'll show you the exact test now, and those who are students here joining me today, those who are students, they will also know what exactly is IELTS like. Okay, I'll show you the actual exam now. So here are all my Cambridge books that I'm using. You know, the interesting thing about IELTS test is it's never from the books. The books that we have are only models. So it will assess your creativity. The actual, I believe this is the actual test of IELTS, that you cannot study from books. It, it will tell your exact language skill. Okay, so what is the first test when you're taking the test? What is the first test you will be attending will be the listening test. Now, what type of listening is this? It's a recorded audio where there are 4 sections, and the duration for this test is 30 minutes. So while you are listening, you are writing your answers. Can you see these questions? Question numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are basically question numbers. So when you are listening that recorded audio, you will be writing the answers on the question paper. For example, maybe in this section, 2 people are talking about job inquiry. So the missing part is, what type of work is this? When they both are talking to each others, you are the one writing here. They said, and how much is paper hour? 2 people are talking to each others. And the other said, it's £2 an hour. So you will just write here 2. So while you are listening, you're writing the answer. And when is the interview arranged? For example, for question number 9, they said interview is arranged on Thursday, the 5th of November at 6 p.m. So Thursday is already there, 6 p.m. is already there, and you are just writing the date that is missing. Now, what is Samira's full name? We don't know. It's there in the audio. So while you are listening, you're writing your answers on the question paper. So one moment, if you think something else, you will forget everything. It will, if you don't want to take IELTS exam, but it will improve your concentration. If you are a person who usually cannot concentrate more than 5 minutes, that is a common habit of most of us, then you will try these tests. It will improve your listening concentration, that you cannot think anything else because you are taking the test. And if you will think something else, you will miss the answers. Okay, so you can see this is your section 2, where you have the question labels 11, 12, 13, 14. Answers are there in the audio. The answer will be only one word and or a number. So sometimes it's 2 words, sometimes it's 3 words. It's never more than 3 words. So while you're listening, you're writing your answers on the question paper. For example, question number 14 is, it can get you any item within how many days? Maybe in the audio they said within 10 days, and you're writing 10 here. Likewise, sometimes you don't need to write anything. You will be just selecting the right answer. So you have 4 sections, and the concept of 4 sections is, okay, listen very carefully, English language teachers, those who are teaching English, you can use this in your English classes. How? If you are teaching a social talk, okay, let's say you are teaching them to communicate. Your section 1 is usually a social section where you will always see 2 people talking to each others. And it's a kind of inquiry. You have a shop assistant and a customer, you have a travel agent and a customer, you have a bank manager and a customer, a person went to apply for a loan, a person went to open an account, a person is making an appointment with a doctor. So if you want to teach them the social conversation, so rather than giving them the script that they memorize and then they speak, you can play section 1 for them, or you can give them the task to just play section 1. They will listen this as a model. that they are listening, that there is a doctor and a patient talking to each others. You can give them a task that you also make you can also make a dialogue like this, and then next day you can tell them to present in the class. This is your section 1. Then section 2 is a monologue where only one person is talking. So you can tell them, and that is a guided talk. So that can be, for example, a tour guide, a shopping guide, guide to use any kind of machine, for example, how to use a washing machine, how to use a microwave oven, or maybe they are talking about a new building or an old building that has been opened somewhere. So if you want to teach them public speaking, that they can guide others when they're alone, or you're teaching them a kind of speech, then you can give them the model as section 2, where only one person is talking. So this is for them like a model to check that this is how single person is talking. Then section 3 and 4, these are education related sections. Okay, in section 3 you will always find 2 to 3 people, and it's always a classroom discussion. So where students are talking about course feedback, course outline, presentation, how to prepare a presentation, how to answer any interview questions. So they will be asking, the whole discussion will be, overall discussion will be based on study. So if they are listening to this, maybe they will get a habit to talk to others in the classroom in English, because they see, you can tell them, okay, this is the model, this is how the students are discussing about their course feedback, now you discuss. So this is how they will be doing. And then section 4 finally, where that is a monologue, and that is a university lecture. So in university lecture, what happens, you get different subjects, and you are not teaching the complete subject in a day, but you are selecting a topic. So here you can give them a topic. Section 4 will help you to teach them. I'm telling you, for those who are teachers, okay? So you can show them like a model. This is how you need to prepare a presentation. So they will listen a model and then they can speak. So you can say that your listening test is all like models. These are the models if you want to develop their listen, if you want to develop their communication skills. You know, the people who cannot speak, they are actually, they cannot listen. So if they can listen it well, it means they will be able to speak well. So rather than giving them the scripts and giving them the ideas to just use AI to get the dialogues, why not to develop their skills, their language skills, that they should create something from their side. You see, this is a model and this is how I want you to speak, but the situation will be different. For example, you are showing a section, you are showing section 1 of listening, telling them, you see, this is a model where a doctor is talking to a patient, or this is a model where a student is talking, where a shop assistant is speaking to a customer. Now you create a dialogue. You can do it in pair work. You can create a dialogue, and you both will be talking about the different item. They have said something else. You might be talking about something else. So this is what is your listening in IELTS. While you are listening, you're writing on the question paper. Once it's done, you will transfer this on the answer sheet. This is what is the answer sheet for IELTS. So whatever you have written there, audio is over, gone. Now you cannot go back to the audio, but this is the time to copy and paste the answers. So whatever you have written for question number 31, that word you will write in box number 31. So for instance, if answer number 30 is A, in box number 30, you will just write A. Am I clear what is listening in IELTS?
Yes, ma'am, you're quite clear and you're going, mashallah, very well.
Okay, so thank you, Miss. Thank you so much. So proceeding now, what is the next module? So this is what is listening in IELTS, and this is how you can use the listening skill in your ELT classroom. The second one is reading. Now, what is reading in IELTS? As I said, these two tests are not same for the academic and general. What is the difference? It's not a huge difference. There are still some similarities and dissimilarities. So I'll just show you now. Let me first show you an academic text. So what do you see? You have a long passage divided into many sections, and at the end, you have questions. So what to do? You are just supposed to find the answers from the passage. Reading comprehension you have done several times in your schools. But what do? We are questions are already there. Some people are using even the guide to find out the answer. But when they will start finding the answers by themselves, they need to find the answers by themselves also. So what you can do, instead of searching a lot of things on the internet, that what passage, and you are creating the questions for your students for reading comprehension, what you can do, you can select any Cambridge book as a model. You can give them the passage where the questions are already there. You will be finding the answers. Okay, the interesting thing about this academic reading is you will be using all reading skills. You will be using scanning, where you are finding only the words. For example, if you just have a look at question number 11 or 12, they said, what was the name of the person? So when they are finding the specific information, they're finding a person name, they're using scanning skill. You're telling in what country, so you are just searching the country name, so they will be using the scanning skill. Likewise, there are some skimming reading like newspaper, so they will go through the text. Okay, same like reading. You will develop their habit to read newspaper, because nobody is now reading newspapers. But uh, if we are not reading, we are not learning. Okay, we should always be in touch with reading. So this is how you can see the passage is given. So what they need to do is, there are some list of the headings given. You can see the example. They said for paragraph A, that is here, what is the suitable heading from this list? Okay, they have given you that this is heading number 5. Now they are asking, what do you think is the suitable heading for paragraph B? So meaning they need to skim this passage B, and then only they will be able to decide. So I hope you're understanding what I mean, that you are teaching them scanning, you're also teaching them skimming, and honestly, you're also teaching them intensive reading, careful reading. Because one minute word will change the answer, because answer is clerical based on, score is clerical based on right and wrong answer. So they will work on accuracy also. It's not they're writing anything from their side, it's all they're searching from the passage. So all these are what, these are the academic passages that I'm showing you on the screen. So you can see all these are research papers. You will find the name of the person, a famous person in the history, an animal, a research paper, a scientific paper, any kind of paper you will find. And then at the end, there are questions that you need to find from the passage. Okay, so once you have total 40 questions, different type of questions are also there. So there are some open-ended questions, some close-ended questions. You are helping them to read by themselves. Okay, nobody is going to find answers for them. There is no guide to find the answer. They will themselves start learning how to scan, how to skim, how to do intensive reading. So you are just finding the answers and directly writing here on the answer sheet. It's 1 hour reading. And in that 1 hour, you need to find the answer and you need to transfer the answers on the answer sheet. And then later, the score is clerical, as I said you earlier, based on right and wrong answer. There is no negative marking. So they will be checking the answers, how many answers are right. So the person who is getting more answers right is getting the score 9. Okay, this is what is your reading, and that is academic reading. Now I'll show you the general reading. So English language teachers will also understand what text they can use in their class on what level. So if you are teaching, if your purpose is to teach, to skill their academic reading skills, you will use academic text. But if you are teaching to adults, okay, the people who finish their studies and just want to develop their language skills. Okay, some people are, as I know that some people are just planning to take English language courses. So what you will do, as you can see the general text, it's like a newspaper classification. So section 1 is a social passage. they will find something like a newspaper classification, a brochure, or a pamphlet. So if you want to, if you are teaching to those people who are not studying, who are learning language but not for the purpose of academics, they just want to develop their skills, you can use this academic test, this general test. Okay, about train tickets. And it's also if they are working people. Okay, the most important thing, if they are teachers, are they nurses, are they doctors, or whatever their profession is. But this section 2 is usually an advice for the people who are working. For instance, formal dress code for company employees, how to answer any interview questions, how to prepare a presentation, how to deal with official emails. So they will be learning also. It's not only they will be reading only to find the answer, but they will get ideas, because text is always authentic text. You will be finding it's always authentic text. Okay, then when it comes to section 3, again, it's an academic passage. Okay, same like our academic text that I have shown you earlier. So it's same. You need to just find out the answers from the passages and writing the answers on the answer sheet. Academic and general, as you can see, both are using the same answer sheet. So it means they have same number of questions. So far the difference you have seen for the reading is academic, all 3 passages are long. Okay, let me draw here. Maybe my drawing will clearly explain you. So you can see this is your passage 1. You don't know what is the text, but you just focus at the length. So it's a research paper, that is a longer passage. This is academic passage 1, same length passage 2, same length passage 3, and all are research papers. Research papers can be anything related to real, something realistic. Okay, it can be about humans, right and left handedness among humans. It can be identical non and identical twins. They can talk about any disability among humans. They can talk about famous people in history, maybe the first car, they are talking about the first aeroplane, like this. But general text 1 means section 1. You can see that you can compare the length. Now you see this length is short and this is longer, and this is going to be a newspaper classification. It can be a pamphlet, it can be a brochure. So you have your section 1 like this, where the length is short, and it's, if you want to develop their social reading skills, you can use this passage. And then if they want to learn some work life, let's say how to answer, as I said you earlier, formal dress code, how to answer interview questions, how to prepare a presentation. Now you see, step by step the length is increasing. The second section will be like this, and when I talk about the third, I'll just copy and paste it here. That third section is exactly same whether you are academic or you are general. So far the difference you have seen is between the text that is given to the academic and the general. Okay, but question types are same. Do you remember when I have shown you the questions for the academic text, the last question was multiple choice, A, B, C, D. So if your answer is D, in box number 40 you write D, and this is the general text now. And in general text also you see the same type of questions. It's not the questions are same, but the text is same. Okay, I hope I'm clear with what is reading in IELTS, and I hope that you understood that how you can use this in your English language classes. So if you're, as I said, if you are teaching to the students and you want to develop their academic vocabulary, because in reading it's not only reading and finding the answers, but teaching them the skills. So when you want, your plan is to teach them the skills, scanning, skimming, intensive reading, you can use any depending on their age and the class. Okay, so if you are teaching, let's say, to grade 11 and 12, maybe you call it FA, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I forgot the terms here, and there are different, we call it grade 11 and 12 here. So likewise, you can teach them academic passages, but if you are teaching to adults who are only worried they cannot speak English, or they want to improve their language skills, then you can use general text. Okay, so this is what my explanation is for the reading in IELTS. Can I proceed? So give me a sign that I know that you are with me. Hello. Okay, thank you. So I'm proceeding now to writing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I'm proceeding to the writing. Now, what is writing in IELTS? There are two questions, unlike listening and reading. Thank you, sir. So, unlike listening and reading, there is no clerical answer. So what do you have reading? As you can see, this is the answer sheet that is used by both the academic and general students. So this is the sheet that the student is using for the task 1, and then this is the sheet they're using for task 2. So meaning they both have two questions known as task 1 and task 2. Now how it is being assessed, and here it goes, like where you will be teaching creativity. In listening, they don't write anything from their side, all they are getting from the audio. In reading, they don't write anything from their side, they're finding the answer from the passages. But writing is the only test where you find something, where you write something from your side. Okay, how it is being assessed, I'll come to this point, but first let me show you the task. So the general students will be writing a letter. Okay, they will give you a situation to assume. There will be a situation, you, for example, you bought something online, it's not that color you ordered for, write a letter to the company. So you are writing a complaint letter, or they say you are happy with the fast service of online, so you are writing a letter of appreciation. So it depends, like you, as you can see here, you're working for a company, so they're giving you a situation that imagine this is the situation, and this is how you will be writing the letter, and these are the things you need to develop. And there's a word limit of 150. That is your task 1. And task 2 is an essay writing. Okay, we all have done this essay writing from the school till, even if you go to maybe CSS, you, for all means throughout the life you have one question, essay writing. And this is the task where creativity is assessed. And every question, as you can see, the bottom line says give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. So meaning they cannot use those proverbs, those hooks that usually we used to do while we were studying. We used to write a lot of quotations and proverbs, like Shakespeare said this, and King Martin Luther said this, or we were using the proverbs like old is gold. There is no creativity. Those are only memorized phrases that most of us were using. Okay, we were um, impressed by some words said by somebody else. It's good to use them, but not in IELTS, because in IELTS will assess your genuine creativity. If you have created a quote, you can write it. Okay, so this is how you are writing your task 1 is a letter writing, and your task 2 is an essay writing. You have the word limit and the time limit also, but it's 1 hour. It's up to you how you manage the time. Task 1 has 1/3 of your score, and task 2 is 2/3, because the word limit is more, so you will be getting more score. This is what your writing general is. Okay, so if you are teaching letter writing, if this is still the question in your books, so you can get some, if you want to teach them that they should write something from their side rather than memorizing and writing it, you can get some questions from Cambridge books for task 1. Then for the academic one, this is totally different. You have graph writing, you have chart writing, you have maps writing, right? Like this. So we have done this one maybe in our universities, that when we were writing a research paper, we were adding these graphs, and below we were giving the explanation. So here also it's something similar to that one, not exactly the same, but similar to that, where you're getting a question. Like as you can see, they said the two maps below show an island before and after the construction of some tourist facilities. So summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. So when student is you just need to teach them how to write a report writing. And those who are with me and they are students, you just need to understand how to write a report. So you will be introducing first, there will be an introduction paragraph, and then what you can see. So you don't write anything from your side, you will all be writing from the graph that is given you, as you can see how it was before, how it is now. So you just need to develop it. Okay, then task 2 is same for both the academic and general, that it's essay writing. Whether you are an academic student or you are a general student, it will be essay writing. And now how it is being assessed, there are 4 areas being assessed: ta, task achievement; RTR, task response; coherence and cohesion; lexical resource; and grammatical range and accuracy. You can find the complete band descriptor, you can search it online. So you can see how examiners will check your paper. So task response means the response you are writing for the essay or for the letter. So you can say, let's say you have written an essay, so whether you are deviating from the topic, the format, the content, the ideas that you have provided, this is assessed here in this area. Coherence and cohesion, it's a very comprehensive area. How you're organizing your ideas, whether they're logically organized or not, your word limit is completed or not. Then lexical item, your vocabulary, spelling, word collocation, word formation, all that is dealing with vocabulary is in this area. And then finally grammatical range and accuracy. So it's not only accuracy, it's not you that student is only right on the punctuation and subject verb agreement and tenses, but also there is range. So what is that range? You will be providing a lot of sentence structures: compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence. So meaning IELTS will cover your complete language skills. It will check your creativity, how you are organizing your ideas, your vocabulary, spelling, and also your grammar. This is how your writing will be assessed. So I'm going back. As I said, I'll be telling you, I'm going back here. I'll be telling you what is listening in IELTS and how you can use listening in ELT classrooms, what is reading in IELTS, and what is writing in IELTS. So for all set. Any questions? You can ask the questions at the end also. I'm giving you the time. You can note the questions if you have any with you. You can ask me at the end. Okay, and if something is urgent, you can even stop me and you can ask me. So I'm moving to the last test of IELTS, that is speaking, the shortest test of IELTS and the easiest test, I believe. Maybe I believe, okay, some of you maybe disagree, but I believe the shortest and the easiest test of IELTS is speaking. That is only 11 to 14 minutes. So it's a face-to-face interview with examiner. There are 3 parts in it. You can see a lot of speaking models are there on YouTube. You can search IELTS speaking test. So it will take around 14 minutes of you. You will understand the model. Part 1 is introduction. So examiner is asking, what's your full name? What shall I call you? Can I see your ID card? Tell me about your hometown, your favorite food, your favorite color. So in part 1, examiner is asking familiar questions like an interview. Then in part 2, examiner is giving a cue card on which there is a topic given. And that topic is also from your life itself. For instance, describe a party that you have enjoyed, describe your favorite cafe, something from your life only. So you will be speaking on that for 2 minutes. Then it will be discussed generally in part 3. So there are only 3 parts: part 1, introduction; part 2, a cue card; and part 3, discussion based on part 2. For instance, if part 2 topic is describe a cafe you like going to, so they will ask you that in future, do you think that the trend of cafes will increase or decrease, or why some students want to study in the cafe, or they will ask some general questions that are related to your section 2. Okay, then they will assess you based on your fluency, how fluent you are, your vocabulary, your grammar, your pronunciation. So there is nothing right and wrong, means whatever you say in IELTS speaking is right.
Uh,
So
Ma'am. Sorry for this interruption. Please check. Some people are waiting in waiting room. Let them in, please.
Okay, Fatima Zaidi. Okay, thank you. They're here now. Okay, now the test. There are two options. You can go for paper based. You can also go for computer delivered IELTS. So if let's say there are 10 people, 5 are going for the paper based and 5 are going for the computer delivered. The only difference is the mode. Now it depends on the test taker. If you want to manually write on the paper, go for paper based. If you want to type, then go for the computer delivered. So there is no difference in terms of the content of the tests, and even on your result card nobody will know who has used paper and who has used computer. It's all about language. Okay, so it's the language that you are either typing or you are writing. Okay, and speaking is face to face. The value is also same, so it's up to you. Okay, so I have explained you the what is listening, reading, writing and speaking. Now marking criteria in both the British Council and IDP, I guess it's AEO in Pakistan, it is called AEO, that is Australian organization. These two are registered test centers. I will suggest you only you will take exam in the IDP or British Council when you need the certificate. If you don't need the certificate and you just want to know your language skills, you can try a lot of online tests, because here you need to pay, and then and this result is going to expire in 2 years. Okay, so your result card validity, it's so surprising that how if your language is now on level of 8, it is not going to drop down to the level of 7. This is something ridiculous. I don't know why, but the result is valid only for 2 years. Listening and reading is clerical based on right and wrong answer. Writing is marked, as I said you earlier, TATRCCLRGRA. And speaking is assessed by fluency and coherence, how fluent you are, your vocabulary, your grammar, and your pronunciation. Okay, the interesting thing is there's no score for accent. So don't try to be British the last day. Whatever accent it is, it's fine. The score is only for the pronunciation. So as long as examiner can understand what you are saying and you know the pronunciation features, okay, then you will be getting score. Now how your overall score will be calculated, the average score, whatever score you are getting in each module. Let's say your listening score, for example, is 7, and reading is 7, and writing is 6, and speaking is 6. So you count all. So 7 7 14, 6 6 12. So 12 and 14 is 26 divided 4. So if I'm not mistaken, you will be getting a score of 6.5, and then that will be your level of English. So you see, every band has a meaning. There is no one pass in IELTS, there is no one fail in IELTS. Okay, it's all only what is your competency of English, what is your level of English. So when the receiver say that if the receiver says we need 7 band, so it means they want you to be on that level of English. And if you drop that, they will say you're failed, you need to retake that exam. Okay, so this is what the result is like. There is no one pass, there is no one fail. It's only that you will know what is your current level. If you want to know, as an English language teachers, if you want to know, but I asked you what's your current English level, so most of you have answered like I think. So you are not sure. So if you want to make it sure that what's your current level now, you will try one mock test, and then you will see what is your current level. You will know what module you are weak in. You will know your strength, you will know your weakness, and you can work on the area that you are weak in. Okay, the result, as I said you earlier, is valid for 2 years. Without passing or failing, you will get a number. Okay, so any questions so far? So before I move to the next part, how you can connect, I try to explain you while I was explaining, but if you have any questions for this part like IELTS, because now I will be talking about the teaching perspective. I appreciate your participation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Akil. Sayyid Akil. Thank you, Shaista Aftab. So if you have any questions, you're free, okay? Feel free to ask me. Now I'm proceeding to, now my main concern will be English language teachers, connecting IELTS to ELT classroom. So now usually what happens, I don't say for you, I'm not pointing out any person, but I will say most of the English teachers, they're teaching from textbooks only. Their only concern is that student is getting score. So their concern is not based on the creativity, but based on the score. And if we only teach from textbooks in our classrooms, our learners will either sink or, can you complete my phrase?
Sink or float.
Mhm. If we teach only from textbooks, means our only concern is textbooks, then sink or
They'll definitely
drown.
drown. They'll sink and drown.
They'll sink or swim. So, meaning you are not helping them. They are only memorizing, and it's all their own effort. When they'll go in practical life, they may remember you that you have taught them very well and they got the score. But then when they are facing the practical life in terms of speaking, let's take the simple example of interview. When they're in the interview situation and you never taught them to speak, because nobody is checking their speaking skills, their full focus is only on writing. So when they will go to the practical life, don't you think that they will think about it, that our teachers never taught us how to speak, they only taught us how to write and how to read? Okay. Anyway, let me proceed. This is what means, what do I believe is that even if you are teaching from books, you can always, once in a week, maybe not every day, once in a week or once in a month, you can try some activities, and then this IELTS will help you. You can get some material from IELTS, because at the end, language matters. So books, yes, they matters also in terms of score, but if you develop and build their language, so to succeed in any part or any type of the test, I would say they need to understand the language used, and they should know that how to use it also. When you will develop their language skills, believe me, you won't be if you don't even teach them books, when they know the language, they will learn the book by themselves. Why you are struggling to teach the books? Because they don't have the language skills. So if they have the language knowledge, they will automatically understand. You cannot no need to tell them the answers, you tell them to find the answers. Okay, it's not only for their academic life, but it's also for their practical life, as I said. So if you understood everything, let me go ahead with some questions, so just to confirm that I'm on the right part. If you're teaching social conversation skills, what module you can use? Tell me, if you want to teach, you are an English language, you're an English teacher, you want to teach social conversation skills, what language you can use? Means what module of IELTS you can use? So you can use listening module. As I said earlier, that you have 4 sections. So I'm just summarizing what I said earlier. So you have 2 sections that are Section 1 and 2 are what? Please. Section 1 and 2 are? And section 3 and 4 are? Section 1 and 2 are social sections. So you can use it for role play. You can tell them, okay, two students are talking and this is the situation. You can show them a model. And 3 and 4 are education and training related. So this will help them that how to communicate even in our regular classes in English, how to speak in English. When you are even attending an English class, you can communicate about the course in English. Okay, so if you're teaching interview skills, now tell me. You are teaching interview skills. Good, Shaista. Manahil, very good. Great. So you all are right that if you are teaching interview skills, you can use speaking module. And that also you can do in pairs. Okay, two students, one is the examiner and the other one is the student. And then so the examiner will also do something. He or she has the job to make and compose the questions. So the examiner is making the questions and the candidate is preparing for the answers. So you are teaching them how to speak in an interview. Okay, if you want to teach, okay, by mistake I clicked. Okay, so to teach scanning and skimming, what module can you use? There is another clue that I have given. Reading, yeah. And academic text, you can use academic text for whom? And general test for whom? Okay, you have two types of readings in IELTS, that is academic and general, and you can use academic text for the students and general tests for the working people. Okay, so you can differentiate the level that you are teaching. You can know that in which class you're in and what module you can use. And if you want to develop critical thinking, creative writing, you can use the writing module. So you can develop a lot of activities with letter writing, essay writing, report writing. You can organize the debates in it, that before they write, you can divide up in groups. Okay, there are two groups and there is a topic that one is speaking in favor, the other one is speaking against. So you're getting a topic agree and disagree, and they will be not only writing will be the second part. They will first speak. So you can just organize something like this in group work, and then you can tell them individually to write. So it's helping them to read, to write, and also to speak. Okay, so that's all from my side. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me now as we wrap up today's session. So I encourage you to continue your exploration for IELTS and its connection with ELT, classrooms. Question time. Sayed Akil, you have asked me that any skills for development of writing skills, especially essay writing. Okay, it's not a shortcut. Okay, Sayed Akil, it all will go for the creativity. If you're asking in general, there is a different way, but if you're asking in IELTS what is the tip, then first thing I will say you to go and search Google IELTS band descriptor. So you will get IELTS updated band. Okay, they have updated it recently. So you can check the band descriptor, that is like a rubric. So you will see how the examiner will assess you. Based on that, what is their requirement, you write like this. So you need to just focus on the format, how to organize the ideas and write more creative. Okay, anything else?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for conducting such an engaging and interesting session for us. My
Okay.
question
Yes.
is, not it's not question. What I feel that our system is totally based on books, and the
Mhm.
system before you have just now discussed, it's all about a lot of planning,
Yes.
and we don't have margin for teachers do something on their own. They have to cover the courses, they have to train their students for giving papers and
Mhm.
scoring them. So what can a teacher do to improve all the skills of his or her student, keeping books aside and
Mhm.
working on the same line as IELTS instructor do?
Okay, very good question, Miss Kamal. I agree with you that you all have a deadline. You need to cover the courses and everything. You know why this is happening? Because our teachers focus only on books. As I said you earlier, instead of books, if you focus on the language, they will cover their books by themselves. So we need to take an initiative. What we can do, as I said, not every day, but once in a week or once in a month, if we are organizing, like let's say 1 week, you're making a schedule that in 1 week, 1 day, you are planning something for their language development. Or in a fortnight, let's say in 14 days, there is one class. So you can, that is all as you said, that it needs a lot of planning, miss. It needs a lot of planning, a lot of hard work. Because if you focus on only books, I think it's not justified with the students. That's what I believe, is that's not justified with the students, because we are not teaching them language, we are just helping them to memorize the things that are given in the books. So the only thing, as per my opinion, Miss Kamal, is that you need to take an initiative at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks. You can organize a session like this, and then maybe that will be helpful. Anything
Yes.
else?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? You are right, Ali. That's what my point is, that I also want English language teachers should focus more on their language. Once the students know language, you don't need to teach them grammar. They will, if they are learning language, they know the grammar as well. So if you are no need to even go for grammar translation method, no need to go for translating those long chapters that you are translating for them to understand. If they know language, don't you think half of your work will be done? When they know language, you are not translating it for them, half of your work is already been done. You are not teaching them how to find the answer, and you're not giving them the answers, you are telling them to find the answer by themselves. So half of your work is done there. So inside, if not, okay, if you cannot make a separate session for it, but you can organize from the class itself. It depends on what subject you that time you are teaching. If you are teaching a letter writing, or you're teaching an essay writing, or you're reading that day, so you can always mix these things. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. And feel free to reach me out. Okay, I have a YouTube channel. If you want to get some tips, some of you have mentioned about the tips, so you can search, you can find me on IELTS Master Coach. Okay, and my LinkedIn profile is there. I'll share the thank you, Rustam sir, it means a lot. Okay, thank you. Okay, you have already visited my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So remember, the journey to understand and mastering the IELTS exam and its relationship with English language teaching is ongoing. So I hope this webinar has provided you with valuable insights.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Once again,
You're
I
welcome.
am short of words to say thank you to you because you have invested
Thank
a
you,
lot of.
especially. It's all, and I would say again that it's all Miss Kanwal's efforts that she has done a lot of things. Means she continue. I don't know how many times she did a follow up with me and check the timing and check your timing. All of you who have attended today and given me your 1.5 hour most probably, and I really thanks to Sir Rustam again, Ma'am Shugufta. I don't know whether she's here with me or not, and I thanks Rustam sir and everyone who has participated today. I hope that the session you got something. I hope it was a plus. I hope it is +1, not -1.
A lot of pluses. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Inshallah
Thank
Taala,
you
we
so
will
much.
give you one more chance, or we would love to see you again and again on different sessions on same platform. Love from SPELT Aptabad, love from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Uh,
much. A lot of love and respect from my side.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Inshallah Taala, next time we will come again with some other topic, some other engaging session. Thank you.
Thank
Allah
you.
Hafiz from my
Allah Hafiz.
side.
Allah Hafiz.